Sawadika. 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 Sabaidima. How's it going? My name is Cully Sage. You may have seen some of my videos beforehand, but this is going to be a slightly different video because this is the beginning of a transition that's been in the process for years and years to come, or previous years, not to come, but when I was 5 years old or so, about 5 to 10, all I wanted was to be a girl. I wanted to be a girl my whole life. I've always prayed to be a girl in this life. I've always did my best to try to embody that feminine aspect. And I mean, as I am right now, I'm very feminine, as you can tell. And it's been a work in progress. Self-acceptance has been a huge hurdle when it comes to my flamboyancy and my freedom of self-expression. Luckily, I've always been very confident in many aspects. So building the confidence in this path has been a slow build up, but now I'm at the point of just completely self-acceptance and love for myself. Back in 24, at 23, I was really questioning the start of transitioning to become a female. But I figured, I had just gone to Thailand, become a yoga instructor, things like that. To live a very healthy, very natural lifestyle would be better for me. And that I could gradually change over time through all natural means. And as you can see, I'm not too far off from looking like a female, in my opinion. Got a little scruff today. That's because I shaved yesterday. I'll have to shave again today at some point, but don't judge me. And hopefully that'll go away soon, because on Sunday I will begin HRT, or hormone replacement therapy. Very frightening, but also very exciting, because it is a step towards fully embodying that divine archetype, that divine feminine archetype, that divine goddess energy that I've been working on cultivating, for almost, a millennia, or 10 years. I don't know, I got it wrong. A decade, sorry. But yeah, so I've been doing everything to get ready for the process. I just wanted to start with a little, documentation of my feelings, my emotions going into it beforehand. And then hopefully I can create, some content as I go forward as a journal to inspire other people. I am 30 years old. I was born July 1995. And though I look very young, I live out here on Maui. I've lived here for the last 5 years. And, this is such an accepting place in the world. Does my family accept me for this belief system? Not entirely, but I don't give room for haters. I don't give room for people. I've always been quick-witted, quick-tongued, well thought out. So acceptance has always been, like what I strive for everyone to have around me. So this process is definitely one that's bringing up a lot of, like I said, mostly excitement, but also some fears, of being able to be seen and appreciated and valued, especially with the social climate, the political climate that's going on nowadays. It can be frightening, but, at the same time, we need strong advocates for people's freedom of self-expression. I'm not trying to get into all the schematics or whatever it's called, but, acceptance of everyone, love for everyone, appreciation for everyone's journey and what they have to go through and what their self-acceptance level is and what it takes to get to the point where you can, honestly make a decision and go with it, and that's where I'm at. I'm at the point where, I've been in a relationship with a partner for 3 years, and I've been able to see myself and reflect on myself and realize where I've been at this whole time. And, even while in that partnership, I was still wishing to be a girl, still wishing to be seen as a girl, and I came out to her the very first day we were together, that I was androgynous, that I saw myself as both two-spirit, male and female. It's been a long time coming, and so I'm no longer in that relationship, but I'm grateful for everything I learned from it, and grateful for the self-acceptance that I found for myself and the love that I found for myself. I feel as I step forward, I'm sorry for rambling, as I step forward, on this path of hormone replacement, I know that my empathy, my love, my care for this world and myself will only increase, that I'll be able to embody myself more fully. I'm really grateful that I have all these healing modalities that I've learned in the last 7 years. Instead of choosing to transition early in the process, I chose meditation, I chose yoga, I chose healthy living and conscious living, things that really helped me feel feminine, but also, balanced, androgynous, open, I get to dress however I want already in public, with or without taking any hormone replacement therapy. I mean, wearing my cute bandana, my pink glasses, and nobody bats an eye because they all know who I am. They know I'm a fruity, fun, flowy person in general that is just well thought out, very discerning, very caring, and it's a magical thing being able to feel already like I'm already taking hormone replacement therapy without even having ever taken it. I already feel like I'm in that process. But as soon as I made that call, got the confirmation, everything felt lighter. Everything felt like, wow, this is such a big step. This is such a, an important thing, that I've been, dreaming about for years, wishing for, that I could be that person. And it's finally at my doorstep, It's finally at my doorstep. And I just wanted to invite you all to be a part of the journey with me, because, I want you to see what it looks like, what an experience of a 30-year-old choosing to go on to some sort of hormone replacement therapy might look like, And main reasons, is I'm tired of my testosterone. I'm very vitally charged, very physical. I've got so much, if you look at my veins right here, you can see all that flow through there. I want to calm it down. I want to relax. I want to settle myself. I don't need big arms, I don't need these jacked arms. I just want soft, subtle expression, divine feminine. Obviously, I want the figure, that divine figure to come out and to be embodied in this life. But I also want to be a voice for great artistic creativity and change and inspiration in this life. And I just feel like embodying myself in that sexual connotation is going to be really just the icing on the cake of everything that I've been working on my whole life. And I'm just grateful that even though, 30 doesn't seem like the youngest time to do it at, I'm just grateful like I'm at the point where I'm going to be doing it finally, and I'm going to start that shift, and there will be a lot of shifts that take place. I have no idea exactly what it'll do to me, but I know from, other people's experiences, constant research into the topic, that, I know it'll be exactly, what I've been looking for. The amount of people who regret doing it is very, very small. And like I said, I've been on this fix for, last 7 years at least, Even my ID here in Hawaii has the X for the last 2-3 years on it. It says X on there as gender non-conforming. So I've already been in that process. And I even take, and I'm not recommending anybody take it, because I don't know the scientific implication, but Purerum mercifica, that's something that I've been taking for almost 7 years as well, known to increase estrogen in the body naturally. It's what Thai ladyboys take, it's been something that I've been constantly taking for the last 7 years to try to amplify the estrogens in my body. But now I'm going to be at the point where I can block the testosterone, which is what I really don't want. I don't want hairy arms. I don't want a hairy face. I want subtle, soft, bone, like facial structure. I want to be able to wear cute makeup, cute dresses, cute flowy things, to be fully able to dive into the fashion scene, as somebody that can be respected in their opinion, I already am fairly respected, but I just feel like I'm going to be a great advocate for people who are in a similar boat to me, I want people to find their truth, their self-acceptance, their love, their embodiment, and even my voice right now, like, this is my voice, I'm not changing it around too much, I have a high inflection, thank God I went to university for theater. I learned voice lessons way early, so I can have everything from up here to everything to down here, it's all intention, My intention is to hear my internal voice as a divine goddess, to see myself as a divine goddess internally, and to embody that energy fully in this life and bring the miracles of that with me into my every situation, like Om Tara Tutare Ture Svaha, the goddess of miracles, embody those miracles. And this is a miracle. Something that my friend taught me or shared with me the other day is like, there's that story from, the Bible specifically, about God sending that, boats and whatnot. Like, the guy's like, no, God will save me. God will protect me. Don't worry about me. Just keep going. God will get me. But at the end of his life, he talks to God and he's like, why didn't you come save me? Why didn't you rescue me? And he was like, I did. I sent like 20 people to come rescue you and you turned them all down. Those were all my emissaries and my angels to help you. And that's what our friends do, like the ones that encourage us. Find your emissaries. God's sending you real truths about what your journey should be, like for you, that you want to make happen, but you're waiting too long to make the steps towards your dreams, Just step into what you believe in. If it's in regards to, how you want to be seen with your gender, or if it's wanting to become a yoga instructor, if it's wanting to travel to Japan to study Buddhism, if it's just whatever, inspires you to be an artist, to be creative. You just have to step out of the resistance and step into, the full faith that, you're being guided for very important reasons, because you are a conduit for great things in this life. You make and can manifest anything you dream of. So, yeah, I know this might be an interesting video for some, especially those who don't really know me. I have no hate for anybody, only love and respect for everybody. I just want to, like I said, have a little intro into my journey. And hopefully I'll continue other cool videos too. If you want to watch some of my old videos, definitely have some on my two-spirit mindset, my book reviews on spirituality and things like that. And I think they'd be very helpful for you in your journey, even if you're not at this point of acceptance, but at the point of just inquiring about life, As I'm moving forward, you'll see a lot more of me. Please hit that bell, like and subscribe, so you can get, notifications of my journey. And I'm really looking forward to this path and this life, and lots of love for you guys. Aloha.